Okay, Assalamualaikum. Today we want to present about our project, which is ice cream mango. So my name is ALIAH binti ABDULLAH and my group members is Muhammad AIMAN, MASHITAH Humaira and NATASHA. Okay, this is our content for our project.
Okay, introduction. This ice cream was produced using homemade version. For this ice cream mango, pure ice cream was used. Other ingredients that used in this recipe are whipping cream, full cream milk, condensed milk, and overlay to replace egg yolk. The product will be evaluated using hedonic test.
Okay, for objective, first to produce an ice cream mango with suitable sweetness, and the second to identify the preference and acceptance of ice cream mango with different amount of condensed milk.
Okay, for project overview. The different sweetness of ice cream mango was evaluated using hedonic test method. The total of panel that do this test was 30. The panel were from student and lecturer. The ice cream was tested based on different gram of condensed milk, which are code sample 121 natural without condensed milk, code sample 233 120 gram of condensed milk, and code sample 921 240 gram of condensed milk. All the codes was the number was random and all the sample code with a 3-digit number. The criteria that evaluate in this test were appearance, texture, taste, and sweetness and overall acceptance. Now I will pass it to next member.
Okay, for implementation, for this picture, for this figure, this template invite people to join the sensory evaluation. And the second, people join the sensory evaluation at the booth. And the last, sample of mango ice cream for serve.
So after the sensory evaluation has done, we collect the result, and table 1 show the sample average for each controller. Sample 9 to 1, which is 20% of condensed milk, is more accepted compared to sample 1 to 1, which is 0% of condensed milk, and sample 233, which is 10% of condensed milk in all terms of appearance, texture, taste, sweetness, and overall acceptance. This is because the amount of condensed milk sweetness was different in every sample. As you can see, for the appearance, sample 9 to 1 was the highest volume compared to another two because when we use more condensed milk in the solution, it will contribute into the light color. So many panelists like to choose appearance for sample 9 to 1. For the texture, more condensed milk will contribute into the smooth texture. It's because condensed milk has lot of milk solid, so ice crystal was stay small because milk will coat it. That show ice cream for the sample 9 to 1 will be softer and also act as a lubricant between crystal, making ice cream smooth on the touch. That's why the volume of sample 9 to 1 was the highest compared to another two. And for the taste and sweetness, as you know, ice cream was a dessert that was must be sweet. So more condensed milk will contribute into more sweetness. That's why sample 9 to 1 chooses by the panelists. So after all the factor can conclude why overall acceptance for 9 to 1 more panelists accept compared to another two sample. Next. Okay. This is a spider web that we get from average volume of 3 sample that we use in this sensory. Next.
Alright, for the table 2, the summary of F value for all attribute of 3 sweetness of mango ice cream. The result shows that they were the significant at the attribute, appearance, taste, and sweetness, while were not significant at the texture and overall acceptance. In appearance, the sample has a different because by adding the condensed milk, the sugar will be affect the color in the ice cream. After that, for the taste, the sugar in the condensed milk also affect the taste, which can make the flavor will more tasted. And on the sweetness, it was significant because the sample that we use has a different content of the sugar content, which is condensed milk. Okay, uh, for the what we call for the not significant, which is texture, the change of the condensed milk can effect it becomes such a kind of sugar. And for the acceptance, overall acceptance, the taste of ice cream doesn't different than the 3 sample, and the panelists cannot differentiate for the overall acceptance. And for the F value sample, the appearance have after we calculate, it will have 1.271. For the texture, we get 1.689, and for the taste, we get 4.661, and sweetness we got 3.484, and overall acceptance we got 4.057. From this attribute, the sweetness, the taste is the highest from other than appearance, texture, sweetness, and overall acceptance. The conclusion: there were 3 types of sweetness that has been tested in this project, and the sample code 921, which has 20% of condensed milk, was the highest with the overall acceptance from the panelists. And the spider web also shows that the sample 921 has the wide angle reading than the other reading. The attribute, texture, and overall acceptance on this test, it determined that there were no significant. And lastly, this project has successfully determined and the objective were achieved. This is our reference to success our project. Okay, thank you for your attention. Most welcome.